Gentlemen and gentlemen, today I'll be getting the Platinum Trophy for Devil May Cry 3. It is rated a 6 out of 10 on this difficulty, estimated to take 6 playthroughs and 50 hours in total in order to get that sweet, juicy, scrumptious, sexy plat. But in order to even get that plat, I would have to beat the game a total of 6 different times, max out my devil trigger and health, and finally, I would have to complete the Bloody Palace mode. I will try my best to explain half of the game, and just half because, well, I think some parts of the story, it just gets like really boring, and like, I don't want it to be a snooze fest for you guys. Now that all that is out of the way, let's stylishly dive into this journey, shall we?
Let's go!
We start the game off being introduced to a much younger Dante who recently opened up his shop. Soon after, some ugly bald guy named Arkham comes in and tells Dante to accept an invitation from his older brother. Arkham then flips the desk and Dante does some cool ass flip and catches a gun and this pizza too. After that, he then tries to take a bite out of his pizza and well, he suddenly is attacked by a group of devils. Despite being stabbed by all of the demons, he ends up beating the shit out of all of them. So props to Dante for doing that. After that, we are then thrown into the first mission. In mission 1, pretty much all I have to do in this mission is just defeat waves of demons, which was pretty simple to do. Also ended up using the Royal Guard style for this mission, which I was familiar with because of DMC5 of course. But other than that, this mission is probably the fastest and the easiest one to do as well. Mission 2 then kicks off with Dante walking outside and him being pissed that they wrecked his shop. After that, we then have to fight through waves of enemies once again, but this time a new enemy is introduced, which is Hellwrath, which in order to defeat it, you have to shoot it enough to where it would eventually explode. Eventually, I would get to a boss fight where I would get the boss to half health, but I would end up dying in the process. I would give it another shot, and I would end up beating the boss this time, while being on the brink of death. After beating the boss, a whole huge ass tower comes out of the ground. No, like seriously. After that, we finally see Virgil, who is Dante's older brother. And pretty much it just cuts to Virgil and Arkham yapping. I'm not really gonna go over it because like I didn't order a yappuccino. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, in mission 3, we pretty much make our way towards the huge ass tower. In order to get to the tower, we have to make our way through some club. And while we were going through this club, we end up getting a new gun, which is just the shotgun. While in the club, also end up having a fight with some more demons just to open a door. And after eventually defeating them all, I leave the club and I end up getting 2 blue orb fragments, which I thought was nice. I then make my way to the chamber, and upon getting there, I would be introduced to the first proper boss of the game, which is the one and only 3-headed dog Cerberus. Personally, if you ask me, this boss fight was pretty peak. You're gonna hear me saying that a lot, like peak, you know, because like most of the boss fights in this game are absolute cinema. Cerberus is a really good and amazing first boss fight in my opinion. Although I ended up dying once, but well, that's really besides the point. After defeating Cerberus, I ended up getting my first trophy of this game. After that, he then turned into some weapon or devil arm for us to use in future fights. After that, we meet a pretty cool lady. She then shoots a rocket at Dante and he starts riding it for the shits and giggles. Right after that, she leaves. And the mission ends just like that. For mission 4, I have no clue what I was even doing. But well, to sum it up, I did hella door entering and demon slaying up until I got to another boss against Gigapede. This boss was pretty easy to be honest. I don't think I've died to this boss once throughout all of my playthroughs that I did in this game. The reason being is because this boss is like really easy as hell. All this boss does is fly or float by, usually sending out purple lightning projectiles and some blue lightning projectiles, which honestly, both are really easy to dodge. You should not have a problem with this fight at all. Anyways, I fully defeat the boss and I get a trophy too. After that, I take control of Dante and go through a door, pick up an item, and then when I tried to leave, the door wouldn't open. Right after that, we would be introduced to Jester. Pretty much he was here to help Dante figure out how to open the door, and after doing so, he just leaves while Dante is shooting at him. Mission 5 kicks off with Dante walking out of the room. Right after that, we are then introduced to the most annoying enemy of the game, which are these dumbass red bats. Really, I truly hate them. After clearing those enemies, I enter a portal where I'd be taken to a boss fight with Jester. How he works is at first you shoot him until you tire him out, then you can attack him with your melee weapon. After attacking, he sends out some spear projectiles out to hit you in a few different ways, like patterns, you know. After that, well, the whole cycle just restarts until I defeat him. After defeating him, I end up leveling up my first style to level 2, which I didn't mention. I have to level up all 4 styles to level 3, which definitely does take a bit to do. I then leave back to the normal world to the lobby where I would use the item I got. And doing so opens up a wall, so I go to the wall that opened up and then I pick up another item. I then use this thing to open up another thingy to where it would help me pick up an item. After picking up the item, I then do some traditional demon slaying for a bit so I can open up a door. And after doing so, I then leave to a different room where I'd walk on some air to get to the other side of the room. I insert the orb into the wall, it then falls and I enter the room. While inside, I end up finding my first secret mission. I then do the secret mission, and for finishing the secret mission, I ended up getting a blue orb fragment as well as a trophy. After that, I go up an elevator and into a boss room where I'd be put into a boss fight. Agni and Rudra would be the boss or bosses I would have to fight next. This boss, or these bosses, took me 3 attempts to beat, mostly because I didn't understand how it worked at first, but I still found them really fun to fight, even after I figured out how to fight them. Absolutely peak if I have to say so myself. After I defeat them, I end up getting a trophy for doing so, and also end up getting a new devil arm from them as well, which I really found this one fun to use. I used this one like 90% of the time when I played this game, to be honest. And I really believe that this devil arm, has the best moveset in the game. Honestly, it might be a hot take. I don't know. I think Cerberus is the second best. Anyways, we're getting off track here. Mission 6 is a really simple mission that can be completed pretty quickly. It consists of 3 trials, the first one being the trial of wisdom. It consists of 3 doors that you have to walk through. How do you know which one to walk through, you ask? Well, it gives you a hint, and that hint pretty much refers to the riddle of Sphinx, which if you don't know what the riddle is, what walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 in the evening. So now that you know that, just walk to the door with 4 lights first, 2 lights second, then the one with 3 lights last. Then there's a key item, Essence of Intelligence. Next up is the Trial of Skill. All you have to do is get to the other side of the long hallway. But the catch is that there's spears that come out of the wall. This one is simple. Pretty much just dodge it or dash through them with Trickster. After you make it to the end, you get the Essence of Technique. Finally, we have the Trial of Warrior, which I didn't understand how to even do, but the enemies all have Devil Trigger, which make it difficult to damage as well as knock them down. To be honest, I just thugged this one out whenever I did it without like disabling their Devil Trigger, because you can with like the wheel on the side. After that, I get the Essence of Fighting and insert all 3 into some thingy to where a laser would shoot out, destroying the thing blocking the door, and I would also get a new gun. After mission 6, a cutscene plays of Lady falling from the sky. Dante then catches her and Lady tells him to let her go, but he refuses to do so. That's when Lady shoots him in the head, and spoiler alert, Dante obviously doesn't die, but Lady does realize Dante is a demon. After all of this, we finally start mission 7. If I'm gonna be real with you, there isn't shit to mention in the first half of this mission. The only thing there is for me to mention though, is me finally getting to the top of the tower, where I would have another boss fight. But this time, it's Virgil. I really found this boss fight with Virgil to be really amazing. In total, it took me 4 attempts to beat Virgil, which so far, I would say that isn't too bad. I really enjoyed learning Virgil's moveset and learning how to like respond to his attacks. Really amazing. There isn't much more to say without getting too in depth about his moveset or just anything else that happened during his fight. Anyways, after getting his health bar all the way down, I get a trophy for surviving the encounter with Virgil, and after that, a cutscene plays, and what happens during this cutscene is that they're still dueling it out, but Virgil gets the upper hand and stabs Dante. He then collapses and Virgil takes his amulet. Dante seems to get up, so Virgil stabs him once again. Dante then gets up once again and he punches Virgil's sword. And right as soon as it seems like they're going to fight again, Arkham tells them they should leave, so they do so. Right after that, it seems like Dante finally awakens his Devil Trigger form, which has got to be one of my favorite parts of this game, to be honest. After that, the mission ends, and we get to see another cutscene right after that. Basically, Dante gets up, and fucking Peak just starts playing. But pretty much, Dante goes down the tower, absolutely demolishing those red bats, and he soon jumps off to the side of the tower just to get swallowed by a big-ass well. Mission 8 starts us off in the stomach of that big-ass well that swallowed us. And honestly, this whole part is really boring, so I'll just skip to the boss to save you guys. The Leviathan boss fight could be fairly simple to do, but pretty annoying as well. How this fight works is that you need to drain the health of these things to the right or left. It doesn't matter which one. After defeating one, the shield around the heart or whatever this thing is should lift up, and all you do now is just damage it, and eventually the shield should go back up. So then you just rinse and repeat. Once in a while, the Leviathan would do one of 2 attacks. One where it would send energy balls towards you, or where it would just shoot a laser from one side of the room to the other side. The only annoying thing about this fight really is just the lower demons, which they can be annoying as fuck if you're just attacking like those thingies and they all just hit you. And like, I think whenever something glows and you're hitting them, it just takes away some of your Devil Trigger, so that's really a pain in the ass to deal with. Luckily though, this fight only ended up taking me 3 attempts to beat. And of course, as usual, after beating the boss, I ended up getting a trophy for doing so as well. After that though, a cutscene just plays and the mission ends. Before mission 9 starts, the Leviathan then goes down and Dante comes out of the eye. Dante would then meet the lady again, and they would fight demons together. While they were fighting demons together, Dante then gives her the nickname Lady, and then Dante just leaves. After that, I would then start mission 9. To be honest, I think the only notable thing to even mention about this mission is probably just the boss fight I did, because most of the mission is really just running around, getting shit, doing a puzzle, and well, that's really it. So with that being said, I'm just going to be talking about the boss fight. So the boss I'm going to be facing now is Neven. For Neven, how you're supposed to fight her is pretty much just attack her until her height is like at a certain height. I don't know how it works. Like she just like goes like shorter like after like a few hits. I don't know how to explain it. After she's at that certain height, she just like starts standing still and sinking into the floor. Once you see that, that's how you know you're able to do damage to her. So, well, do damage to her. And then after a bit, she just finally gets back up. So once that happens, well, you just rinse and repeat pretty much. It sounds pretty easy from how I'm explaining it, yes, but for my first time doing this fight, it was definitely more far from easy. For one, she has such annoying ass moves that she uses. More specifically though, she has two of them that outshine the other ones. One of the moves being where she just spins in like a circle. I don't know how that would be annoying, but honestly, I can't explain how much times I've got hit by this. And now the other one is the one where she just like shocks the floor, I'm guessing. Like, I don't know how this one is like one of the most annoying to me, but for like when I first, like I'm saying this now, when I first started doing this boss fight, I just found it really hard to get the timing right to dodge it. And it just like kind of costed me like a lot of attempts, or like it just like took out most of my health too, because I would just always get the timing wrong. Not always, but like most of the time. Well, other than those moves, she also has some other moves. It's when she's like at a certain amount of health, I guess like below 10 or 20%, she like does this move. It's a grab, and like the only way to avoid it is by using double trigger and just hitting her pretty much. But other than that, if she grabs you, you're kind of just fucked there. But anyways, other than that, the total amount of attempts it took me to beat this boss fight was 9 attempts, which I would say is the highest so far. After defeating Nevan, I end up getting a trophy for doing so. I also get to see this peak ass cutscene of Dante shredding with this guitar, which this guitar happens to be the new devil arm I get from Nevan, which I honestly happen to not be a big fan of either. Not like the design, I love the design of course, but just not the moveset. After that peak cutscene, I enter a green door and it just cuts to another cutscene, but this time it's Lady just being badass like always. After that, the mission ends and another cutscene plays, but this time this cutscene is pretty important. Pretty much what ends up happening is Arkham opens a door for Virgil, and Virgil ends up cutting him down because he didn't handle his daughter, which if you didn't know, Lady is his daughter. Mission 10 then picks up where we left off. We pick up a mask, obtain another blue orb fragment, and put the stone mask into a wall. Doing that causes some bridge to come out, so I walk across and grab a Neo generator, and then I head my way back to the bridge. On my way there, I end up running into a new enemy type. They were pretty easy to deal with in this section, mostly because they were moving in one direction and like going back as well. After that, I arrive at the bridge and Dante does some absolutely necessary shit and kicks the round thingy into place, and doing so ends up moving the bridge to another part. I then go through a door where I would discover Arkham's body. Lady then appears behind Dante and she thinks he's the one who killed him, so she and him, they have like some badass shoot off. Right after that, she says Dante doesn't know anything about family, and hearing that literally had me fuming. But other than that, she gets to the point where she almost shoots Dante, and then she just doesn't and lets him go. And so Dante leaves and the mission ends. Before mission 11 starts, we get a cutscene of Arkham talking to Lady. He's somehow talking to her and convinces Lady that Virgil manipulated him into killing her mom, or like his wife. Then he just yaps and tells her to go stop him. After that, he acts like he dies. Before I go into mission 11, from here on out, I'm going to be talking about the boss fights. The reason being is because I don't want to make this video too lengthy for you guys, and I'm going to get straight to the point, if that makes sense. Now, beginning with her next boss fight, which is Beowulf. I think when using Royal Guard, this boss fight can be one of the funnest fights in the game. Whenever I fought him on higher difficulties, I always had such a fun time Royal Guarding his moves. Like, that shit was so peak, and it was fun as hell too. Literally too satisfying. His moveset wasn't like too bad. There was only like one move that I really disliked out of all of them. It was one where you just shot like multiple like projectiles at me at once, which I'll show on the screen right now if I have a clip of it. Other than that, Royal Guard is perfect in this fight. Royal Guard is absolutely fiction. Peak fiction. Absolute cinema in this game. I love Royal Guard. I love Royal Guard in this fight. I think about Royal Guard every day. When I'm jacking off, I think about Royal Guard. When I see Dante's face, I think about Royal Guard. When I'm like doing anything, I just think about Royal Guard. Royal Guard is my king. I eat, breathe, sleep Royal Guard. But other than that though, I ended up finishing this boss fight with a total of 3 attempts, which isn't too bad, I think. Anyways, here's a trophy for being the boss. The next boss I'll be fighting is Gurion. If this happens to be your favorite boss in the game, there's obviously something wrong with you, like genuinely. The first phase of this fight takes place on the bridge. Pretty much, he just runs towards you, trying to hit you, and you have to just jump over it. Then it teleports back to the other side, and then rinse and repeat. So how I chose to fight this boss is, whenever it started running towards me, I of course just shot it, and well, I jumped over it, and then I shot it again. And pretty much, I just kept doing that until the end of phase 1. After you get his health bar to a certain amount of health, the bridge just then collapses, and then phase 2 starts. Pretty much now, me and him just fighting like some large ass coliseum, which honestly I really love the like environment, if that makes sense. But just like phase 1, phase 2 isn't really any different from that. I mostly just shot this guy like 99% of the time. The only time I ever like really attacked him with my sword is whenever I like knocked him down. Yeah, that's when. But other than that, I just shot at him like most of the time with what was it? Ebony and Ivory in the fucking sniper. I don't know. After beating this boss, I ended up getting another trophy, which I'm really glad I did. And a brand new style that I never ended up using. I would rate this boss fight a -1 out of 10. Yes, you guys heard it from me. Yes. Mission 13 has our next boss, which is Virgil again. But honestly, I'm not even complaining. This boss fight was fun as fuck and genuinely my favorite boss in the game. In this fight, he uses both the Yamato and Beowulf to fight. For majority of his health bar, he leaned more onto Beowulf, and whenever he starts to get to a certain amount of health, he started using the Yamato. And of course, we can't forget, he also uses the Devil Trigger. My way how I fought this is, well, honestly, I'm not even sure. But I do think I used Royal Guard or Swordmaster. I'm not sure which one, but gameplay will show which one. I also wanted to mention this like little small thing, but whenever this fight like got to much more harder difficulty, such as like hard from like then on, I think this fight was like genuinely the best and most funnest in my game. It was so fun to play against Virgil, and like even though I like kind of died a lot because I was like fucking around like royal guarding him, it was still so fun to do so. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this fight. The next boss fight I have next is Lady, which I'm not even sure why the hell Capcom decided to give her a boss fight. I will talk about this fight, but I don't think there's really anything to say about this. All you do is run around the arena to find her, and once you do, she attacks you. After a little bit, she then grapples out of there, and then you just really rinse and repeat that. I really don't know what else to really say. This fight was like really simple, like the simplest in the game, I'm telling you. Anyways, here's a trophy for beating her.
Become a little horde. I would become a horde if I was one.
I also get another trophy, like I think a mission right after this, but it's for defeating Jester in all of his forms, which I don't think is really important to talk about in my opinion, because his boss fights are just kind of the same in the same arena and shit. So yeah. The next boss I go up against is Doppelganger, which is really easy to do. You have to hit all these lights and turn them all on, and after doing so, he's stunned for quite a bit of time. While he's stunned, well, just beat his ass. Another way to stun him is like hitting the light when he's like right by it, which I recommend you doing, of course, because if you don't, I'm pretty sure he just like destroys the light or like turns it off. I don't know. Pretty much though, if you couldn't tell, Doppelganger is a gimmick fight. I think that's the right word. Here's a trophy for beating Doppelganger. Yo, this boss is so easy. Step into light, defeat Doppelganger. The second to last boss I go up against is Arkham. He isn't much of a hassle, well, most of him at least isn't. The only difficult thing about his first phase is when he shoots the little tentacle things out of him. And whenever he just goes into the ground and some big ass leeches come up from the floor. They're like really annoying to deal with unless you have the right thing, which honestly for them, I recommend bringing Catalina in. I think that's how you say it, but it's a rocket launcher and I'm pretty sure most smart people brung it anyways, but I ended up doing the opposite, so yeah. But well, let's just put that aside for now. After doing enough damage to Arkham, Virgil then appears to fight alongside with me, which it does kind of nerf you by not allowing you to use your style or your devil trigger, which is really a big bummer if I say so myself, because I really love using both of those. After he comes, nothing really changes, like fight wise. The leeches do become a little bit easier to deal with, I'll admit, yes, but the projectiles were still a pain in the ass to deal with, and on Dante Must Die he shoots like twice the fucking amount and at like a faster rate too, which makes it even more annoying, I swear. Eventually I would end up defeating Arkham and I'd also earn a trophy, and I would also see this amazing peak ass iconic ass cutscene.
I'll try it your way for once. Remember what we used to say? Jackpot. Not very classy for someone's dying words.
For the final boss of the game, the big boss of the game, it's Virgil. And hell, I'm definitely not complaining because this fight, it was absolute cinema. The atmosphere of the fight itself too, the moveset, and the big boss himself, Virgil too. This is a perfect final boss, enjoyability wise and difficulty wise. For this fight, I kind of had a strategy that I used. After he does a certain like string of attacks, I attacked, but only when he did that string. It was kind of like, I don't know if it was time consuming, but it kind of did take a bit, yeah. He also does a move to where he just goes into Devil Trigger and he does like hella judgment cuts around the arena. All you really gotta do though is just run around like in just random directions, I guess, like really trying to avoid it, if that really makes sense. And after avoiding his attacks, he just appears once again, but this time he's just standing there still, so I just still damaged him pretty much. Out of all the fights, I think personally, I had the most trouble with this fight, especially on higher difficulties too. Like I'm not really sure why. I had to fight down, but you know, it always would like I'd always get fucked over by like a mistake I would do. I don't know, just doing like something dumb and I'd get like fucked over for it. Which I would blame it on myself, yes, and I'm blaming it on myself. Well, other than that, I don't think there's really more to speak on for now. So pretty much I just end up defeating him, I see the ending, and then I get a trophy for beating the game on normal.
This place was our father's home.
After beating the game for the first time, I started my second playthrough on normal difficulty, which, if you're questioning why I'm playing on normal again, the reason being is that I wanted to finish every secret mission and max out my health bar with Dante, which, for doing so, I get 2 trophies. I don't really think there's much to show about like the secret missions. They're just like one though, they're really different. They have you doing different objective stuff, you know, pretty much. So, here's the 2 trophies I got. After getting those trophies, I decided to move on to the more miscellaneous stuff. For the first 5 trophies, I'll be getting them with Virgil. The first trophy being for getting an S rank on any mission with any character. The next trophy I get is for killing 100 enemies during the credits. The next 2 I get are for clearing every mission in yellow orb mode, and another trophy for beating the game with Virgil.
From what I'm guessing, I'm pretty sure it's like one of Dante's guns.
Guys.
I got a new arm for ya.
Holy Gaiot.
That's your wife. Am I my brother's keeper? Finish the game on any difficulties, Virgil.
Yo, why is she showing me so many arms,
Clear every
yo?
mission in yellow orb mode. After that, I would achieve a trophy for getting an S rank on all missions, which I ended up doing with Virgil. But even on easy difficulty, I still found some of them annoying. One mission specifically is like mission 5, I believe, the one where you fight Rudra and Agni. I fucking hated that one. Okay, I bet. Oh my god, I got my last S rank, guys. Oh my god. Hellish Horror, achieve a S rank on all missions. Oh, that's so sexy, bro. After that, I switch back to Dante and tackle the rest of the trophies, which is for maxing out the Devil Trigger gauge as Dante, purchasing all Devil Arm skills with Dante, and for reaching the highest level in all skills with Dante.
Juggling?
Yeah, watch the mode to reach the highest level for any gun with Dante. Oh my god, am I gonna get a trophy? Oh my god, big spender. Purchase all Devil Arm skills with Dante. Now, onto the other difficulty trophies. I would love to go over the hard and very hard playthroughs, but it was a walk in the park for those difficulties. Like, I don't think I found anything to be hard exactly. So here's a trophy for those 2 difficulties. Gone to hell. Finish taking one harder with any character. Go on.
It was because she told me that one of their friends
Oh, I got a trophy.
that they would go to Walmart and it's like.
But for Dante Must Die, well, that's a different conversation. Actually, if I'm gonna be 1000% honest, it definitely wasn't a different conversation because I did decide to pussy out and use a Super Dante costume. Honestly though, I'm glad I used it. I'm really glad I didn't do this shit legit because that really would have like pissed me the fuck off. My monitor would probably be broken right now too. Well, other than that, I don't think there's much struggles other than mission 5 and a stupid ass chess piece encounter. I found the chess piece encounter to be such a nuisance to deal with. Like, I swear I disliked it so much. The only way I was even able to pass this mission is because I'd bought like hella vital stars. And I ended up using like almost all of them too, I believe. Holy hell, it was such a nuisance. Honestly, the only boss I really struggled on while on DMD was definitely Arkham. And no, it wasn't because of the difficulty. I didn't really even find it difficult. I only found it to be really annoying, like actually. Like whenever Virgil comes in, he like starts spamming the shit out of his projectiles. It gets so annoying, I'm telling you. Anyways, enough rant. Here's the trophy. Now, moving on to the last difficulty-based trophy, which is one for beating the game on Heaven or Hell difficulty. Which, if I'm gonna be honest, yeah, it was really easy. It was such a walk in the park, and I can't even lie though, I really did find this mode to be fun. Like, I don't know why, just the like thought about one-shotting everything, it was just amazing. It was such a wet dream for me. Anyways though, here's that trophy. That was pretty
And
cool. I got a trophy.
then
Oh my
Freddy
God,
was confused why like they were.
Now for the finale, which is the Bloody Palace mode. Once again for this, I ended up using Super Dante, so he really carried me, so he's honestly the true MVP of this video. Pretty much the goal was to get me to floor 9999, which was the 99th floor, and for getting to floor 6666, I would end up getting a trophy for doing so.
At least I beat it in like fucking 13 tries. Oh, how long did it take him for to beat it? He took a full fucking day.
Past level
How many hours do you have?
level.
What? Past 666 levels in Blade Cup.
I would also get another trophy for reaching the 5,000th floor. Wasn't it like that long? Oh shit, after 2 dreadful hours, I would eventually beat the Bloody Palace and be awarded the trophy for doing so, as well as the Platinum Trophy. My thoughts on this platinum? I thought that this game was really fun to play, and so far out of the 3 DMC games that I have platted, this one is by far my favorite. I'm such a big fan of the bosses in this game, I love them so much, and the Devil Arms too, absolutely amazing and perfect actually. But overall, I love this game, and so far it's gotta be my favorite platinum that I have achieved ever. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video so much. Be sure to show some support by liking, subscribing, or even leaving a little comment. I would appreciate it so much. I hope you have an amazing evening, morning, day, or night. Oh my god, you're scum. You're actually scum. You're actually scum.